So today we're here with Mr. Brett Basom talking about Juniata College, and he is a current Huntingdon resident as well. So let's start with some basic information. How long have you lived in Huntingdon?
Well, I came here in 1981 as a Juniata College student, so that would be about 36 years.
All right. And what has kept you in the area?
Well, I found that what got me here initially was Juniata College as a student, but what's kept me here is that I've really met a lot of really good people. I love the outdoors, I love the small town feel, and it's really turned out to be a good place to live and to raise a family, so that's what's kept me here.
Right, so let's talk about Juniata College and what you do. So what are some of your duties here?
All right, well, after I was a student, I spent 2 years as a residence hall director, which meant I lived in the residence halls, working with the students, making sure things were going smoothly there. And then for the biggest chunk of my career here at Juniata, for about 26 and a half years, I was on the admissions staff. So I traveled around the state, around the country, and even around the world to tell people about Juniata and about Huntingdon and to get them here. So that's what I've been doing for most of my time here. The last 3 years I've been working as assistant registrar at Juniata. So now I work with the seniors in particular, helping them graduate from Juniata. And so instead of getting them to come to Juniata, now I'm helping to get them out. So.
Great. So with your time in admissions, is it fair to say that you brought in many students of different nationalities and kind of helped make the campus more diverse, more different cultures and more understanding?
Yeah. You know, when I first started in 1995, so when I first started working with the international students, Juniata only had a handful of international students, and right now we're somewhere 150 to 200 students from about 40 different countries. Which I think is really neat. You know, it's good for those students to come to the United States and to experience a small town like Huntingdon and to go back to their home countries. But it's also, I think, great to expose our students and our local community to people from around the world and let them know that there are different ways of thinking. And so I think it's been very, very beneficial both ways.
All right. Now, for someone who doesn't really know Juniata that well, what are some of the selling points that you would tell them, like, what?
Sure. So you know, I always like to talk about the small community atmosphere, the very personalized attention. There's a big emphasis on experiential learning here at Juniata. So what that means is students are not just learning in a classroom, but they're also getting experience through things like research, study abroad opportunities, internships, leadership development things. So there's a really big focus on that. Every student at Juniata gets 2 faculty advisors, so there are 2 professors that they work with to kind of design their own individualized program of study to help them kind of focus on whatever it is they want to do after they leave Juniata. But it's mainly just about the people here. I think it's a really strong, supportive community where people want to see students do well, and that's what's kept me here, and I think that's probably the best thing about Juniata.
So one last question. What are some positive changes that you've seen since your time as a student to now?
I think, well, physically the campus is there have been some really good building projects. So physically it looks a lot nicer than it used to. There are some new buildings. Technology has really changed things. They have really good technology here at Juniata. The student population has grown from just being one of mainly Pennsylvania and the local states to we have about 40 states represented now, and like I said, about 40 countries as well. So there's a lot of different ways of thinking and learning from each other. And I think Juniata's national reputation has really strengthened too. I've seen in recent years a real big commitment to the community, getting local students involved on campus, opening up the doors of Juniata's cultural activities, artist activities, sporting activities for the local community. So I think there's been a real improvement in kind of what they call town-gown relations, and so I think it's been good.
All right, well, I think that will do it, so thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Basom.
You're welcome, Mr. Basom.
Okay.